What about the baby test? They are part of the reasons I attached the file so you can see the discrepancies in the numbers. Yeah, well, if you don't have the time to fix it, then hire someone.
We're ready. It's going to be okay. I have a strong case.
Good morning. My name is Itomi. I am the arbitrator appointed by the chairman of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, Nigerian branch. This arbitration shall be conducted in accordance with the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 2004. Farida, my paralegal, will take the minutes of this session. This is not a courtroom, but the rules of evidence may apply. So, if there are no comments, may we take the claimant's statement.
I have a comment. The Federal High Court has ruled that this case must come to arbitration. However, I will challenge your jurisdiction to hear the matter. The court has already ruled on this, Your Honor.
I am not a judge, Ms. Oswald.
Not only has the court ruled on this, Mr. Buckner, neither the Court of Appeal nor the Supreme Court have agreed to take Mr. Sani's appeal. It is clear that the arbitration panel is the right place for this case.
Please state your case, Mrs. Johnson.
Thank you. Miss Olujobi here had resigned her post at Iwaju Limited before this incident occurred. She therefore cannot be covered under the arbitration clause of her employment contract because that contract is void. That is not true here, Mr. Buckner. While Miss Olujobi had resigned, she was well within her 6-month notice period. She remained an employee. She earned a salary. As such, she should still be under the full protection of her employment contract.
Well, your comments are noted, Mrs. Johnson, but we'll go ahead. Please present the claimant's statement.
On the evening of August 10, 2015, my client, Ms. Dara Olujobi, visited the home of Mr. Benga Sani, the CEO of Iwaju Limited. Whilst there, she was sexually assaulted by Mr. Sani. The assault was the latest in a sequence that occurred over 2 years and created a hostile working environment for Ms. Olujobi. Mr. Sani's actions drove Ms. Olujobi out of Iwaju and cost her shares amounting to 30% of Iwaju Limited. Ms. Olujobi is seeking the accelerated grant of her 30% shareholding in Iwaju. Mr. Buckner, please instruct the defendant to remain silent.
Again, this is not a courtroom, Ms. Oswald, and he is not a defendant.
Ms. Olujobi is also seeking damages amounting to the Naira equivalent of 1 stop.
Well, the purpose of this arbitration is to determine whether Ms. Olujobi should be granted her requests or not. To that end, we're going to take testimonies from Ms. Olujobi and Mr. Sonny. But if I'm unable to reach a decision after the testimonies, both parties will be free to bring in additional witnesses. Okay? So, you may begin.
Ms. Olujobi, please tell us in your own words exactly what happened that night.
I went to visit him that night.
No. Did I tell you you look amazing, by the way?
Where's Chama?
Still in the UK.
I take it she's having the baby there?
No, I wish you'd let me explain.
There's nothing to explain. No, I said no.
So why'd you come here then?
You know why I came.
I can't waive the non-compete clause. It's a board decision.
The board is you, me, and Miriam. Between both of us, I think we have the votes.
Look, it's just 6 months. Think of it as an extended holiday, not Iwaju barring you from work. It's not like Chijoke can't wait for you. So his email is true. You joined Supervas.
I just want to move on with my life. Benga, you owe me that much.
One night. One night for all time's sake. And I will sign whatever you want me to sign.
Please. Benga, please. Benga, please.
Thank you very much, Dad.
You may question the claimant, Mrs. Johnson.
Do you mind if I stand? That was quite the story, Miss Olujobi. So did you go to the police?
Yes, I did.
What did they say?
Apparently, the mistress of a married man cannot get raped.
Rape? I don't mean to be mean, but what you just described doesn't sound like rape.
He had sex with me against my will. I think you'll find that meets the standard definition of rape.
What you described, Miss Olujobi, was an offer that you accepted, not rape.
He had my future in his hands. I couldn't say no.
A 6 months delay, Miss Olujobi? I'm sure that you'll find that that's simply a matter of opinion, but tell us, what happened on June 29, 2015?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I...
Miss Olujobi, please tell us what happened the day you quit.
It doesn't
What the hell?
Pregnant. She's fucking pregnant. Please tell me she tripped and fell on your dick.
Okay, it's complicated. I was going to...
You cheated on me with her. With her, Benga.
Technically, I'm cheating with you. She's my wife. We can get through this now.
She's pregnant with your child. Consider this my 6 months. Fuck you!
I'd like to be clear on this. You expected my client to leave his pregnant wife?
I expected him to live up to the promise he made me.
And what promise is that?
To love me for the rest of our lives.
He's a married man, Olujobi. He doesn't get to keep that promise. And while I appreciate the circumstance in which you find yourself, you cannot deny the fact that you did seduce Wing.
I object.
What exactly are you objecting to? The relevance of this line of questioning. Your client has just landed a celebrated entrepreneur. Her history with him speaks to motive.
The claimant will respond.
Finally, did they have to have us the rest of Thailand?
Move, Joe.
Aren't you going to get the plates?
I got the food.
Wenga, it's your house.
And you know where the kitchen is.
Not going to happen.
How about I pay you 1K if you go?
Wait, do you think I'm that cheap?
Yes, K.
I'll give you a kiss if you go.
How do I know you'll pay?
Don't you trust me?
Wait. What kind of false advertising is that? Well, I'll report you.
To who?
I have you know that I'm friends with the chairman of our con. And he takes false advertising very seriously.
Fine.
And to be fair, I wanted that from the second I saw you.
Really? And to be fair, I've wanted that from the second I saw you. What kind of secondary school life is that?
Whatever. But you know you wanted to.
Food is gonna get cold.
I have a microwave.
I'm still not going to the kitchen.
I must say, that's a dangerous game that you're playing with a married man, Miss Olujobi.
He escalated it.
You poured petrol and you're surprised that he lit the match?
It doesn't change what happened.
Of course not. Did he keep his word?
I'm sorry?
Did he remove the non-compete clause in your contract and allow you work for the competition?
Yes, he did.
So why are we here? Why didn't you just simply put it behind you and walk away? I'll tell you why. Iwaju bought Supervas and your offer was rescinded, is that not so?
Yes, but that was...
No more questions.
I think we can do with a brief recess. We'll pick up Mr. Sonny's testimony in 30 minutes.
It's going to be okay. Funaya is a legend. I've known her since I was a kid. She can even make you believe that Jesus Christ deserved the cross. But nothing she has said changes the facts. See, you could have had sex with him a million times before, but all that matters is that the last time was coerced.
He's going to lie.
Of course he's going to lie. If he agrees with you, we win.
He's very charming. Very good at it.
It's okay. We'll be fine. We've gamed this all out. He's not going to get away with it. Okay? That was fun. Did you see Thomas's face by the time I was done? What do you want? Tell your client to drop the complaints. Why would we do that? Because when you lose, and you will, she won't get another job. Nobody likes false rape accusations. Plus, you don't want a loss like this on your record. Thank you for your concern, Auntie. But you must decline your kind offer. Oh, Maomi, darling, listen to me. This is not the kind of case you want to lose. It's bad, very bad for your career. I'm not selling out my client. It's not selling out to act in your best interest or hers. What does she want? For me to drop the case? I told you we have a chance. So, this is the next line of action. Tell us about yourself.
My name is Oluwenga Sonny, and I'm the CEO of Iwaju Limited.
And what does Iwaju do?
We're a technology company. We provide software for bank text alerts and mobile apps. And with the acquisition of Supervas, we are the largest independent provider of music and subscription texts in Nigeria.
Interesting. In your estimate, Mr. Sonny, how much is this company worth?
Right now, about $150 million.
And how much of this do you own?
46%.
Wow. You're a very rich man. So tell us, who exactly is Miss Dara Olujobi and what is your relationship with her?
Well, up until 9 months ago, she was Chief Operating Officer at Iwaju, my second in command, if you will.
And how much of this company did she own?
Well, the exact figures are tricky, but she would have owned 30% of the company before the Supervas purchase.
30%? Wow. That's a lot of money. Why did she walk away from something like that?
She wanted something I couldn't give. She wanted me to leave my wife and child.
And when you rebuffed her, she left of her own accord, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
How long was your affair?
2 years.
But it ended, correct?
My wife was pregnant with my daughter. She was gracious enough to give me another chance.
And you felt this way the night she came to visit?
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Sonny, tell us what happened that night.
Shouldn't have come.
How dare you send that email?
Of course I'm going to insist on the non-compete. Supervast is a competitor.
Supervast isn't a competitor.
Diamond Bank mobile app tender is on. You mean to tell me if I let you go, Supervast won't bid?
If you ever loved me.
Look, I'm sorry. I'd rather you stay, but if you must go, you have to wait 6 months before you work with Supervast. He's cold.
So you broke your vows?
Yes.
Despite everything you said?
Yes.
But you did not rape her?
No.
You did not coerce her?
No.
Why did you sleep with her?
I love her.
That's a big statement coming from a man with a wife and a baby.
Dara is special.
And yet you felt that she used her specialness to manipulate you, right? And this wouldn't be the first time now, would it?
No, it's not.
Mr. Sonny, tell us how you and Dara met.
Hello? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, well, we can sit down and talk about it. No, we don't have to. Yeah, sure. Alright, bye. What can I do for you, Mr. Ulujobi?
As I said in my email, our firm needs to discuss your bulk SMS rates.
It's not going to work.
I'm sorry?
Namely, sending a pretty girl to seduce me into negotiating his bulk SMS rates is not going to work.
That's what we did.
This is Nigeria. And I know how you're advertising people wrong, but that is not how I run my business.
I see.
Yeah, so tell him the price is the price.
He'll be relieved to hear that.
How do you mean relieved?
Oh, I've been trying to convince him to switch APIs. An Indian provider has one for 20% of your cost.
And where are you going to get an SMS gateway?
Everybody and their brother in Computer Village has an SMS gateway.
Maybe I was too hasty. Most advertisers know nothing about APIs and SMS gateway.
Most advertisers don't have a first class degree in computers.
So why advertising? With a first class, you can write your ticket into Nigeria, IT, telecoms.
5 minutes ago, you thought I was here to fuck you. Now you think I'm wasting my life.
Great. Maybe we should start again.
For a third time?
How much reduction are we talking about?
I think 50% is fair.
50%. That's crazy.
It's fair. Besides, with the GT Bank SMS alert contract, you'll barely even notice a reduction.
No, it's not fair, and we're still bidding for the contract.
I've seen the other APIs. You should bring hands down.
I sell bulk SMSs. A tier 1 bank may not trust my reputation regardless of how good my product is.
There is that. Good luck.
Wait. Please sit. You've worked with bank clients.
Yes.
So you understand what they need.
Are you trying to offer me a job?
You said it yourself, I have the best product. You're a software engineer that understands selling to banks. I didn't know that I needed you until I met you. Now I know that I fucking need you.
Why would I want to work for you?
Because nothing you do in advertising will give you the same feeling as winning this contract.
And what happens if you don't win?
We win the next one.
But it wasn't your idea to hire her now, was it?
No, it wasn't. We were working on a Zenith Bank app.
You're supposed to be helping me.
You're supposed to be adults, also the rubber band.
It's my thing, leave me, Joe. So you're going to help me?
Isn't that what
Oh, please, I hired myself. But wait, think about it. Why would Nnamdi send his account executive to renegotiate bulk SMS, especially when we charge the client a margin on top?
Wait. Nnamdi didn't know that you were coming to that meeting.
Ding, 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 ding. Nope.
So how did you know that I would hire you?
You needed me. I just had to make you realize it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lujabi, for being just what I needed.
Now, let me be sure that I understand the facts. The claimant tricks you into giving her a job, seduces you, tries to get you to leave your wife, attempts to join your rival, and then when all of this fails, she accuses you of rape. Is this correct? Special indeed. So, Supervise. Did you buy Supervise to spite the claimant?
Of course not. They are the strongest player in music ringback tunes and specialty text, that kind of thing. We are the strongest player in finance. We're complementary. It makes strategic sense to buy them.
Of course. Things like this in business take time. So, how did she react?
You fucking bastard. I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you pay.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sonny, can you tell us what happened the day after?
The day after what?
The day after Dara took the job.
This is shit. This is shit. This is pointless.
I hope that's not shit.
I've seen better thank yous.
Look, I'm a software engineer, okay? PowerPoint presentation is not my thing.
I'm a software engineer too, and that's not an excuse.
Steve Jobs hated PowerPoint.
You're not Steve Jobs.
Yeah, well, maybe if I was wearing turtleneck and round glasses, you won't be able to tell us apart.
We need to finish this bit to submit it. We don't have time for bad jokes.
Oh, there's always time for bad jokes. Yoruba girls are so respectful that I once saw two of them kneel in appreciation after collecting money from my ATM. No?
It's really funny.
Okay. During the Nigerian Book Festival, a BBC reporter asked a Yoruba girl to mention one book that had changed her life, and then she said,
Her husband's checkbook.
Oh, you heard that one?
Everybody has heard that one. Now, go away. I have work to do.
So Dara did the presentation for the GT Bank contract?
That's why I hired her.
The presentation that won you the contract?
I believe my software won the contract.
Of course. Please read the quote from the GT Bank IT head.
I haven't seen that document.
This is not a quote.
What document is that, Ms. Hosford?
This is the GT Bank press release announcing the Iwaju SMS Alert Contract Award.
I see. Well, you may read it, Mr. Sonny.
Iwaju's product was just as good, if not better than the others. However, the clarity of thought of their presentation really sold it. Going through it, I thought I had to be in business with this company. Listen, the presentation could not have sold anything without the product.
Of course, but you do agree that the GT Bank contract was instrumental in the success of Iwaju and that Dara played a pivotal role? I'm going to need an answer, Mr. Sonny.
Yes, that is correct.
Bank SMS was your biggest business?
Yes, it was.
And Dara led the team that managed and deployed it?
Under my supervision.
Is it still your biggest business?
No, the Just Load business is.
What is Just Load?
It allows you load credit on your phone by dialing a code.
Okay, that's clever. Who came up with that?
There I did.
And how much credit do you sell on Just Load, say, in a month?
We do about $1 billion a month.
Wow. 1 billion every month. What is your margin on that? 7%?
No, 5% comes to us.
50 million naira every single month. Is all of that profit? Wow, that's a lot of money Dara brought to the company.
Oh, yes.
But she didn't own any part of it.
It's not that simple.
Try and explain it to us.
She had share grants that would give her 30% of the company.
Shares she lost after you forced her out.
She chose to leave.
She left millions of dollars on the table just to get away from you? Please, tell us, how long would she have had to work to earn those shares?
7 years. Look, it was my investors.
Investors? Jaguar Capital?
Yes, they had to ensure that she'd stay.
So Jaguar Capital is the reason why Dara had no shares?
Yes.
Okay. Please, tell us, how did you get the investment from Jaguar Capital?
We're sorry it didn't work out, but we're sure we'll do something together in future.
Of course. Can you imagine this bullshit? I hate fucking bankers. And don't you dare say I told you so.
Mary Yusuf is in town.
Who?
You know damn well who she is.
Look, I don't want an equity investor. Apart from you.
Yeah, don't forget that. You owe me shares, boy. Look, Mary and I are in the same class in QC. She'll do right by us.
How does going to QC with her mean she will do right by us?
Because QC girls stick together.
Wait, so the person behind Jaguar Capital was Dara's school friend?
Yes.
And yet she insisted on the lockup. She would do that to her own friend.
She didn't make the decision. Her bosses wanted to ensure Dara stayed.
Okay, tell me about the conversation you had with Miss Ulujobi after you got the Jaguar Capital email informing you of the investment committee's approval.
Are they taking the grapes in France? Benga.
Really?
Babe, see, you need to chill with these your dry jokes.
Please, they're better than your Yoruba girl jokes.
In your mind. Meanwhile, Miriam just called me. She said that the IC asked that I delay the share transfer to you.
What?
They wanted to make it a part of the transaction.
Why? What difference does that make? You told them no, right? You agreed.
Babe, we're closing in 3 months, okay? It's not that long.
I was supposed to get my shares last year, Benga.
I know. We'll talk to them. Look, it's just paperwork. The shares are yours. They're just a little while longer.
You have my back, right?
Yes.
Open this.
So you went from promising her shares to making her wait 7 years for them?
It was her idea to go to Jaguar Capital, and besides, she agreed.
She wanted to push back. You told her not to risk it, that you were afraid Jaguar would pull out.
She agreed.
This was 3 days before you slept together, correct?
And why does that matter?
Did it ever occur to you that she slept with you to ensure she got her fair share of the company she built?
I beg your pardon, sir. I just didn't realize that we were allowed wild conjecture.
Mr. Sonny has shown manipulative behavior towards my clients in the past. It is reasonable to assume that she did this to protect herself.
This is ridiculous. Mr. Bucknell, kindly direct that my client not respond to that question.
Mr. Sonny, please answer the question.
No, I don't think she did it to buy my loyalty. We were in love.
But you betrayed her.
I did my best for her.
Easy for you to say you owned your shares. She had to wait for her.
It is my company.
She is the reason for its success.
I disagree with you on that.
Of course you would.
Is that a question?
Mr. Sonny, how did you find out about Miss Ulujobi joining Supervast? You bought Supervast because of an email?
Supervast focused on music. It was possible that with Dara joining them, they would make inroads into finance. As you said, she was important to us.
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Farida Ahmed.
Farida, could you kindly read back to us the transcript of Mrs. Johnson questioning Mr. Sonny concerning Iwaju's purchase of Superbus?
I misspoke. What I meant
You
to
will
say.
get your chance, Mr. Sonny. Farida.
Mrs. Johnson asks, so Superverse, did you buy them to spite the claimant? Mr. Sonny replies, of course not. They are the strongest players in the music ringback tunes and specialty texts. That kind of thing. We are the strongest player in finance. We are complementary. It made strategic sense to buy them. Mrs. Johnson asks, but the timing though, coincidence? Mr. Sonny replied, we have been talking about it for over a year. It all just came together.
Which is it, Mr. Sonny? Were you in talks for a year? Or did you do it to prevent Dara from joining?
Look, Dara's leaving may have contributed to the decision to fast track. You don't complete a deal like this overnight. That it was done in a week meant that we had been in talks.
Of course. And whose idea was it to purchase Superbus? Who began those talks?
Dara.
I can't hear you, Mr. Sonny.
Dara, and yes, I initially resisted.
Who is Ebele Nwachukwu?
She had nothing to do with this. Nothing. How dare you?
Please do not address my client.
Relevance, Mr. Bowman.
Clearly, Mr. Sonny feels differently. Please answer the question.
Billy was my former receptionist. She's smart, funny, ambitious. Things progressed and she got pregnant. I didn't handle it well. I insisted that she have an abortion.
Were you married at this time?
Yes, about a year. She died.
Objection, Mr. Bucknell. This is highly prejudicial and totally irrelevant to the matter at hand.
I disagree, Mr. Buckner. Mr. Sonny's previous history in using women and leaving them to their fate is of utmost relevance. That Miss Nwachukwu died is tragic, but the pattern it establishes is crucial for our case.
While I appreciate the point, Ms. Osford, I will not take the information about Ms. Nwachukwu for consideration in my judgment. Do you still have any more questions for Mr. Sonny?
No, Mr. Buckner.
We'll go for lunch now, and when we come back, we'll take the witnesses. Thank you.
My, what a boring lunch. You should live a little. You did good in there. I wasn't expecting any challenge whatsoever.
We're not settling.
Did you know that the sale of Superbus means that Mr. Sonny only owns 46% of the company?
The other supervised shareholders believe that the company will benefit from Ms. Olujobi's continued employment.
You expect her to keep working for him after what he did?
What he did or didn't do is still a matter of dispute. However, she need not work with him. She wanted to move to supervisor, now she can. In fact, she need not see him at all, except for board meetings.
And the 30% ownership?
Now the board can see we're cleared to a 10% ownership for Ms. Olujobi.
The supervised purchase would have made it 20%.
19.5%.
Let's take 0.5 for pain and suffering, shall we?
That shouldn't be a problem.
And he has to admit what he's done.
Do not overplay your hand, young lady. She won't get a better deal.
No deal.
Talk to your client. Convince her.
You know what? This is rubbish. Ending this. Dara, take the fucking deal!
Please do not address my client.
20% is more than you deserve after today. 20% is more than
20%? What are you talking about?
You sneaky bitch. You should talk to your lawyer.
Why didn't you tell me?
You would have settled.
That's my decision. What's the offer? Tell me.
You get to have your job back. Or you can move to supervise if you want. You also get 20% of the waju. It's everything you want, but you shouldn't take it.
Why not?
Because he's not admitting to the assault.
Well, that's not what risking.
He doesn't get to win.
Me going back with my equity and my job is me winning.
Not when he's still there.
What does it matter if he's still there?
He doesn't get to rape you and have it be okay.
Who's he?
It's not important. Let's focus on your case.
You rejected an offer without telling me. Clearly he's important. Alright, he's not important. If Wenger needs to rape, he'll have to resign.
So, it's not like he can't do his job. Everything that that company is, you made it. He took it away from you. Agreed to work with him again. You're saying that he was right to do everything he did to you, including rape you.
Allow me if I lose.
I get nothing. We won't lose.
What are you doing here?
Dara asked me to be a witness.
How can you be a witness?
Because she asked me to.
She is suing the company. Your company. You are the second largest shareholder.
Well, technically, she's suing you. And we are paying a lot of money to defend you.
Chijuke, if you think that you're going to use this case to take over my job.
Benga, this is exactly what I love about you. Your crazy paranoia.
Can you stop it? What do you think?
I guess we'll find out.
Right. We will begin the afternoon session. I can see only one witness for claimant and none for the respondent.
We don't need another witness, Mr. Bucknell. Our case is open and shut.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Chidioke Uta, and I am the Deputy Managing Director of Iwaju Limited.
You may begin.
When did you become the DMD of Iwaju?
About 9 months ago.
What were you before joining Iwaju?
I was the CEO of Supervas.
And what were you before that?
I was the software developer for Iwaju.
Chijuke,
Good afternoon, sir.
Dara tells me that you have something to pitch, and please, my best engineer does not call me sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry. Have you seen subscription SMS asking you to pay 15 naira a week for news, Bible verses, sports?
Yes. People that send them should be shot.
Apparently, he wants us to go into the business. Says it would take about a month to reconfigure our current platform.
And why would we want to do that?
Apparently, it's very profitable.
Yes. Of the 15 naira, the telcos get 30 naira, we get 10 naira, and the provider of the information gets 10 naira.
We're a respectable company doing business with billion-dollar banks. How would it look if we're hawking the geo text messages for 50 naira a week?
Not good.
Exactly. But I like the hustle and I like the entrepreneurship, and it's thinking outside the box like this that will keep Iwaju going forward. Cool? I'll talk to you. Why don't you even bring that to me? It's free money. It's not my kind of free money.
So you quit?
Of course.
And yet you came back.
That was Dara.
Care to expand?
Well, like everyone else, I did ring back tunes. But I was looking for money to develop a music platform. Iwaju raised money from Jaguar Capital the year earlier, and she was looking to invest. This is lovely. New faces. New faces. Software.
I like the fire guy.
Good to see you again.
I like the fire. Good to see you. Hey, Chijuke. Hi, great to see you, man.
Thank you, sir.
You're still calling me sir. Aren't you a CEO yourself? So Dara tells me that you want to go into music downloads.
Well, yes. Bring back tunes are big business for us. But MTN and the other telcos are coming. So we plan to build a music platform that will serve as a one-stop shop for downloading to our people.
Why would you use your platform and not those or other telcos?
We plan to integrate social elements to make it sticky.
Social?
Yes.
Social is difficult.
There's this brilliant young girl who built a bridesmaids app for an events planner and had 100K users in 6 months. I hired her to run socials.
I see. And how much are you looking for?
$2 million.
That's a lot of money.
Well, platform development is expensive, you know.
And how much equity are you selling?
Up to 40%.
For this, we will need 70.
Benga.
His main business is under threat by the telcos. His new business requires a social media element to succeed, which is entrusted in the hands of a young girl nobody knows about.
I too was a girl nobody knew about.
It's risky. We need to be compensated. No offense, Chijoke. You are the truth.
I can't sell you 70% of my company. Thank you for your time, sir.
Nigga, I'm a dreamer.
So how did you raise the 2 million?
Dara introduced me to Jaguar Capital. They gave me the 2 million. For 20% of my company.
Is there a point to this line of questioning? I mean, all we've heard so far is that Mr. Sunny said no to Mr. Chijoke twice, which leads us to believe that Mr. Chijoke here has a grudge, and conclude that he is an unreliable witness. Do you have a grudge, Mr. Uta?
Benga's stupidity made me a very, very rich man.
Congratulations on the deal.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you and your advice.
You didn't need me, Joe. Wait, you said you wanted to talk to me about something.
I want you to come work for me. Look, fintech is good now, but consumer is the future. I guarantee you that in 3 years, Superpass will be bigger than Waju.
Chijoke, I just
It
can't.
doesn't value you.
I think you better leave now.
Dara, he is the reason Jaguar screwed you. Marian told me that Jaguar Investment Committee wanted to give you 30% of Iwaju. But Benga didn't want to be diluted that much. He insisted on the 20% he promised you, but that it was pre-investment. The eventual compromise was that you get your 30%, but only after you stayed 7 years.
You told me you fought for me.
He betrayed you.
Excuse me for a second.
Hey, beautiful.
What the hell? Pregnant? She's fucking pregnant!
Alright, can we see?
Please tell me she tripped and fell on your dick.
Okay, it's calm.
You cheated on me with her? Her, Benga.
I think I'm cheating with you. She's my wife. Okay, it's okay.
Consider this my 6th month. Fuck you! Let's do this.
So why did you agree to be purchased by Iwaju?
It was Miriam Yusuf's idea.
The Jaguar Capital investor?
Yes. She convinced Dara, who convinced me. It made sense, especially for Dara, who would remain with Iwaju and accelerate her share grants.
But Minga disagreed?
Oh, he agreed. Only if Dara was excluded.
So why didn't that kill the deal?
Doesn't matter. Look, Chijioke, you have to take the deal.
What about you?
I'll be fine. Interswitch is always hiring. Come on.
Minga's vindictiveness is the reason Dara did not get her due?
Again, I have to ask for the relevance of this testimony.
This testimony establishes that Mr. Sonny actively worked to deny Miss Olujobi her fair share of Iwaju, despite her being the brains behind the company. It exposes actions that made Mr. Sonny millions of dollars and left Miss Olujobi with nothing. It also supports our claim that he used the promise of promotion and advancement to coerce sexual favors from her.
Mr. Bucknell, would you agree that the claimant's case is based on the conjecture that Miss Olujobi here was coerced into having a sexual relationship by Mr. Sonny during the course of her working life?
It is one of the assertions, yes.
Right. I would like to introduce a witness that will contradict that assertion.
But you have no witnesses on the list, Mrs. Johnson.
Which is why I'm asking for a recess. It is crucial to my case, Mr. Bucknell.
We don't have a problem with it.
Right? You have 1 hour.
Make that 2. Lagos traffic. In the meantime, I would like to ask Mr. Chijioke some questions before we go on recess. Mr. Chijioke, are you in love with Miss Olujobi?
Yes, I am.
And you don't see how that puts your testimony in doubt?
I don't see why. Everything I've said can be backed up by other people.
Of course not. Except for that one meeting during which she told you to take the deal. Are you aware that she called Mr. Sonny and abused him verbally?
It makes sense. He screwed her over.
And yet she still convinced you to take the deal. Don't you find that odd? Let me see if I understand what's going on here. Miss Olujobi agreed to work for Mr. Sonny 1 month. 1 clear month after he allegedly raped her.
That she overlooked the assault doesn't make her a liar.
Of course. It makes her a saint. I tend not to believe in saints.
Is that a question?
Was the plan for you two to force him out?
That we've never discussed.
Would you say that Miss Olujobi is using her claims of sexual harassment to force Mr. Sonny and Iwaju to change the terms of the deal that she agreed to?
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, but you can see how someone would say that.
No, I can't.
I see. One last question. Should Dara win here today, what would happen to Iwaju?
We'll be fine. We are the largest vase company in Nigeria.
Of course, but that's not my question. Who will be in charge?
You are good. I see why we hired you.
Do I need to request Mr. Bucknell to ask you to respond to that question?
I expect Dara will if she returns. Or I if she doesn't.
Fucking hell! I just fuck this shit. Fuck it! Ace, young man, get out! Can you hear me? Get out! They're trying to take my company from me.
So it will seem.
So it will seem? So it will seem? I'm paying you for more than so it will seem. Stop them first. You will stop them now.
Well, I think that our defense has been rather...
I don't give a shit what you think! He loves her. Stupid bastard. I made him. I gave him his first job in this industry. That is the problem with you Nigerians. No gratitude! Can you prove that they're sleeping together?
If you recall, their case is built on sexual assault. So what we need to do is to provide a witness that will debunk their claim that Ms. Olujobi was coerced into having sex with you.
Of course. Right.
So produce that witness now. Get them over here and let's end this.
Dara. That wasn't how I imagined I would propose my love to you.
It's okay to tell someone you love them, you know?
Even if they don't feel the same way. I wish you had told me what he did. I would have... If you lose, I'm giving you half my Waju shares.
No, there's no need for that.
But you built this. Even Supervar started because of you. It's not fair that you get nothing if you lose.
Look, it's not your responsibility to right the wrongs in my life. This is my fight, Chijoke, not yours. Hmm?
What did he want?
To offer me half his shares if I lost.
It's the least he could do. It's true, he ruined our case.
We needed his testimony.
Yes, we needed his testimony to show that Benga scuttled your deal. We needed his testimony so that we could show Benga for the vindictive bastard that he is. Not for him to come here and tell the whole world how he loves you and wants you to run the company. Damn it.
Calm down. It's gonna be okay.
I honestly wish we took that deal.
I don't. I've been trying to pretend as if everything will be okay once I got my shares. I'm done pretending. That bastard raped me just as much as if he held me down. I may not win, but I'll be damn going down saying I didn't get raped.
Oh, now we got it made.
Mommy, I can't lose this. I can't lose. Wait, was Chijoke really that bad?
If nothing else, we at least proved that Iwaju can survive without Benga. I'm just more worried now about who their rebuttal witness is.
That's easy. It's Chiamaka, his wife.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mrs. Sunny. Anything for my husband?
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Chiamaka Sonny.
While this is not a courtroom, please remember that you are under oath. Is that understood?
I
Thank you again, Mrs. Sun. Would you be so kind as to tell us how long you've been married for?
10 years next month.
That's a long time. Would you describe your marriage as healthy?
Well, it would have been if not for this Jezebel.
Interesting. Miss Olujobi here claims that she was coerced into a relationship by your husband.
Is that a joke?
You disagree with this claim?
She was the one who chased him.
Oh, Dara, how's it?
I'm going to take your husband and fuck him 6 weeks from Sunday. Maybe when I'm done with him, you can have him back. If he wants to come back.
Dara.
This doesn't concern you. This is between me and your wife.
Benga, are you going to let her speak to me like this?
Oh, he can't help you. Now I take it that we will not need to have this conversation again.
I see. So Miss Olujobi here kissed your husband in front of you? In public?
And threatened me.
I have no further questions.
Mrs. Sonny, did you know you were going to be cross-examined today?
Yeah, I've seen law shows on TV.
Of course. Who hasn't? Can you please tell us what happened minutes before she kissed your husband? Remember that you are effectively under oath.
Oh my gosh. And that was how I got Diamond Bank to double the thing.
Yeah, no mind, that's generous. She did all the work, I just took the credits.
I need to use the restroom.
Can you wait? We have a meeting at 2.
Oh, no, I'll only take a second. Dara, are you coming? That's fine. Okay. Okay. Like you now said that you drank up. You think you can fuck my husband? Oh, what, you thought I didn't know?
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
I
I'm
think
not
you need to be taught a lesson.
You can't be serious.
Leave her place, but let her know not to go fishing in other people's ponds.
Excuse me? Please, this is not allowed here. Thank you.
You hired people to beat her up?
She was sleeping with my husband.
Actually, she wasn't. The first time they slept together was 3 months after that.
You're lying.
Your husband himself confirmed.
She kissed him. I saw it.
You hired people to beat her up. Why would she give you any satisfaction?
Thank you for coming, Mrs. Sonny. You may be excused now.
Mr. Buckner, may I ask Benga a follow-up question to that testimony?
Go ahead.
What was the conversation you had with Miss Olujobi?
6 weeks from Sunday, Abby. What was that about?
Girl stuff. Where's Chiamaka?
She's at home. Knew I'll find you here.
What's up?
You know, we're not really married, right? We had a fling during NYC and I got her pregnant. We got married and she lost the baby. It was easier to stay married than to fight her father. He's a general in the army and a devout Catholic. Anyway, she moved to England after the miscarriage. She lives there. I live here.
So why is she around?
She saw the report that CNN Africa did on the Jaguar Capital investment.
She wants to ensure she gets her share of the Silicon Valley cake.
As long as she doesn't change what it built here.
I'll always be your best friend.
And what if I want you to be more than that?
Are you ready to fight an angry Catholic general?
3 or 5,000.
You essentially promised her marriage.
Mr. Buckner, Miss Horsfall will have to choose. She cannot argue that Mr. Sani forced Miss Olujobi into a relationship, whilst also arguing that he deceived her into one.
I disagree. My client was indeed coerced, but the promise of marriage brought her silence. In fact, Mr. Sonny himself testified that the break came in when the promise of marriage was no longer an option. Mr. Sonny then moved to punish her for trying to leave him.
The reasoning is sound. Mr. Sonny, you may answer the question.
I stand by my answer. The relationship was consensual.
So why did you oppose her return?
Excuse me?
Mr. Uta testified that you insisted the purchase exclude Miss Olujobi.
She left the company.
Yes, because the affair ended. Did she suddenly become unqualified for the position?
We had an affair. It would have been awkward. Besides, integrations are difficult enough as it is.
So you frustrated the advancement of an employee because of your relationship with her?
Do not answer that, Mr. Sani. I have to protest, Mr. Buckner. Miss Horsfall is now trying to argue that the decision to exclude Miss Olujobi was based on sexual harassment, while in fact, in that instance, Miss Olujobi was no longer an employee of Iwaju Limited. How could it have been sexual harassment?
Actually, she was. As the court and Mr. Buckner have ruled, Miss Olujobi was an employee of Iwaju when all of this was happening.
This is absurd.
Furthermore, Mr. Uta offered to have Miss Olujobi withdraw her resignation to make things tidier for everyone. Mr. Sonny refused.
He did not testify to that.
We can call him back, or we can ask Mr. Sonny for his own recollection of events.
Mr. Buckner, this case is predicated upon an alleged assault by Mr. Sonny on Miss Olujobi. Now, there's been a whole lot of talk today, but nothing, and I repeat, nothing we've heard validates Miss Olujobi's version of events.
The pattern established before and after the incident clearly provides circumstantial evidence for Miss Olujobi's claim about that event. We have also provided evidence for sexual harassment both before and after the alleged assault.
Mr. Buckner, we have no more witnesses. Therefore, we ask that you rule, bearing in mind the unsubstantiated nature of the central claim.
We'll take an hour recess, and when we return, we'll take a decision.
Let's go.
You shouldn't be here.
I just want to talk.
There's nothing to talk about.
We talk about you trying to take my company from me.
You took the company from me first. You swore to me that you did everything you could for me while we're negotiating with Jaguar.
You ended up with 30% when you could have 16%.
They were going to give me that anyway. You made me wait 7 years.
They wanted to give you my shares. Of course I was going to set conditions. And I was right. You left.
I left. You got her pregnant. You were supposed to go to London to get a divorce, and instead you got her pregnant.
It wasn't like that. I went to get the divorce as we planned. She told me I used our wedding money to start Iwaju and threatened to sue if I dared divorce her. None of this explains the pregnancy. She wanted something to ensure her hold on me. She wanted a baby. I tried to explain, but you never gave me a chance. Listen, I couldn't lose Iwaju.
But you could lose.
Yeah, well, I thought I could have both.
You thought I'd keep letting you put Iwaju before me?
Even if you won, they'd never let you know that. You really want to let the fruit of our labor be won by Chichioke.
Oh, so now it's our labor. At least he didn't rape.
I didn't rape you. Listen, I didn't rape you.
There's nobody else here. You don't have to pretend.
I'm pretending. Fuck this. I'm pretending. You wore a dress I gave you, perfume I bought you. You knew it was going to happen. You wanted it to happen.
That's a confession.
I think you planned this thing from the start. Dara, did you ever love me? Because I don't see how someone who did would do this to me.
Honey, I was just thinking the same about you.
So, what do you make of all this?
Sir?
This so-called rape?
I don't think it's in my position to comment.
But honestly, do you think it's actually possible for someone to rape someone without force, the way they are describing?
During my first year in the university, the dean invited another girl and I into his office. He told us about how his wife was always away on business and he had to watch a lot of porn to keep himself from misbehaving. He even told us how his favorite videos were 2 girls and a guy. He then told us how difficult it was to enter law school and how we had to try our possible best to make sure we got in. The other girl thanked him and said she had prayer meeting to attend.
And you? What did you do? Do you regret your choice?
You know Yemisi, the other girl? I saw her about 1 year ago. She's a cashier at KFC. I'm entering law school next semester. We're ready for you.
Thank you all for your time today. I am now in a position to reach a ruling. Having heard the testimony of Mr. Sonny, Ms. Olujobi, and the others, I find it hard to make a determination of sexual harassment. While the relationship seemed to have been instigated by Mr. Sonny, testimony shows that it was largely consensual. With respect to the incident in question, both parties preferred differing views about the situation, and no evidence given here today contradicts that fact. However, Ms. Olujobi was forced to leave the company due to an untenable relationship situation created by the CEO. And I do not think she should be penalized for that. So, I am granting Ms. Olujobi shares amounting to 30% of Iwaju Limited.
Point of correction, Mr. Bokno. Iwaju Limited completed the merger post-contract. Post-contract. Therefore, I respectfully ask that the grant be limited to the shares of the pre-merger Iwaju.
The agreement calls for the issuance of shares amounting to 30% of the company. And there is no room for additional shares having been issued. This is an issue created by the company because of the sweeping nature of the grant award.
He can't do this. How can he do this?
Mr. Bucknor, I have to respectfully ask. If you fail to reach a finding of sexual harassment, how could you grant Ms. Olujobi the shares?
Well, Mr. Sonny here admitted that the relationship between him and Ms. Olujobi was not only the reason she quit, but also the reason she was not reinstated. If not for the relationship, Ms. Olujobi will still be in the company and have a chance to earn her shares. To my mind, Mr. Sonny effectively forced Ms. Olujobi to give up millions of dollars. And that is the sort of injustice that this panel is made to correct.
This is bullshit!
Well, this concludes my arbitration. The details of the ruling and the proceedings will be circulated shortly. Thank you all.
Mr. Bucknor, this is not the end. We are going to appeal this. Mr. Bucknor, you will
find, Mr. Sonny, that arbitral awards tend to be upheld. I doubt your company will appeal.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh, Miss Yusuf asked me to engage Miss Obijobi should events go her way today.
Engage how?
To inform her that her shares will be issued according to the ruling.
I am the CEO and largest shareholder at Iwaju. Miriam cannot make that decision without me.
Miss Yusuf is Jaguar Capital's representative, and along with Ms. Sutton, form a majority of the shareholding and the board. She issued joint instructions on both their behalf.
Instructions? Thanks.
The board has decided to give Ms. Obijobi her old job back.
I will sue. I will sue for that.
Shut up. And I would seriously advise against that. Now, recall that these proceedings are private. A court case, on the other hand, will not be. Ms. Obijobi, Jaguar Capital also asked me to inform you that they're more than willing to buy your shares on the same terms on which the supervised deal was done.
Jaguar will not take my company from me. Do you hear me?
It seems I would owe you an apology if you hadn't fucked him in the end. The problem was always him, never you.
I'll match Jaguar's offer for the shares.
I think you better go.
You know, I did. I do love you.
I'm sorry we didn't win.
I got my job and my money back. How's that not a victory?
You could force him out. I'll have the board name you the new CEO of Iwaju. Or you could take your money and build something new. See who you are when you aren't stuck behind a man. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Going back is a waste of time. He was the love of my life.
better tasting men. It's true. He was an asshole.
Yeah, you're right.
I still have one more question though.
What?
How did you manage to not get beat up?
That was easy. I bribed them. Doubled what Chiamaka paid. The best 300K I ever spent.
Oh
no. Got a girl, she's 5'3", beautiful chocolate skin indeed. Can't believe her insecurities, thinking that she's no good for me. Girl is written in the stars, you know you are. Go on. You know my love is true, I'll always burn for you. There's a fire, you can have it kill with water, you will understand. And the rainbow has no colors but the sunlight, you will understand. 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 You will understand, yeah. Pretty girl sitting on my phone, no, they never want to leave me alone. It makes you mad. Paparazzi flashing light, you in the mood for another fight. Ooh, girl,